All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How's it going? I'm istherenoonelse, and today's video, I am going to start sharing what I've been running on my Oaken builds for my meme videos a little bit more in depth. So we're gonna get into the build. We're gonna get into the discussion on what I'm running and alternatives if you want to try other things. Yeah, I haven't tested everything with this type of setup, but I can kind of lead you guys in the right direction if you kind of want something a little bit different. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do with this video. So yeah, let's dive into it. Now, as far as consumables go, like normal, we are. Oh my goodness, we are running. I have Jewels of Misrule on because this is a lot cheaper than the gold mag and stam pool. What is it, Orzorgas? It's just a lot cheaper, and I'm trying to be cheap on PC right now. Obviously, you can run that, but this, I mean, this is like a fraction of the price for a little bit less. Obviously, if you have the gold, you should be running Orzorgas. I'm a stage 3 vampire, so the health recovery, it doesn't help me a ton. Obviously, more recovery would be nice, but this does just fine. And so I ran Jewels of Misrule, and yeah, I've already talked about how I'm cheap on PC at the moment. So yeah, I got Veiled Heritance on the front bar. And this is when you interrupt an enemy, you gain 500 weapon and spell damage for 15 seconds, but your bash attacks deal 492 more damage. This is the main reason we're running this. Our build with this is going to be revolving around bashing. And so there's a lot of different ways you can run an Oakensoul build, which is what this is. I thought having bash damage was a good way to supplement having lower bar space. I was kind of inspired by watching one of BashcroMancer's videos. Bash just hits really hard, and you can use it pretty well. Your CC also does a ton of damage, and so it's a really more convenient way to run like a setup like Oakensoul, in my opinion. So there's a lot of benefits also to running Sword and Board. When you only have one bar, you either need to have a lot of healing or you need to have some form of mitigation. Blocking's mitigation. You can block the most of the Sword and Board bars. So yeah. So that's why we're going this route over like dual wheel or whatever. Obviously, there's more than one way to run Oakensoul. I don't think there's really a wrong way, but yeah, we're running front bar, Veiled Heritance, One Piece Balorg, and then we're running Deadland Demolisher. This is a crafted set that you can get in the game. Max stamina, weapon and spell damage, max stamina. Your bash attacks deal 935 more damage. When you bash, you also deal 55-15 physical damage in a cone in front of you, interrupting any enemy's hit. This effect can occur once every 2 seconds and counts as bash damage. So it doesn't look like a great proc, but the fact that it procs every 2 seconds and it coincides with other damage adds a lot of burst to our combination. It's almost like an enchant. Like, this is an enchant level damage. Plus, it has the interrupt and everything. It is a very nice set. If you're going to run a bash build, I feel like I think it's pretty universal that Deadland Demolisher is the best. I am running it in heavy. My thoughts were, since I'm running the worst the worst dual stat recovery, mag and stam recovery food, I could run heavy and get a little bit more recovery from the Constitution passive if I need it. So that's why I went heavy. You can go medium for even more damage. I felt like the damage was fine, but there is every once in a while you're going to run across a healer or you're going to run across a tanky Templar where you're going to have a little bit of a difficult time killing them in this type of setup. And so maybe medium is a better option. It's for that little bit of extra burst, more crit damage, whatever. But yeah, that's up to you. Obviously, this is crafted, so you can craft it how you want. Yeah. And then we have infused bash damage glyphs, and then we have the Oakensoul ring. And so this, we talked about this a lot. I don't think I need to go into this. All these major buffs written out you get for the sacrifice of a back bar or 5-piece. I've done videos discussing this. It just gives you more. And so this is just a very, very effective ring. And yeah, some people are going to say this is cheesy, and some people are going to say this is dumbing down the game, and I wouldn't necessarily disagree, but like I kind of feel like ESO PvP right now is like we're in Arkham Asylum, and you just kind of do what you have to survive. So if you want to play this game and you want to engage in hard mode, that's fine. You don't have to run Oakensoul builds. You don't have to do whatever. I've already posted builds without Oakensoul. But if you want to, I do think it is a powerful mythic. I would be remiss as a content creator to not point out running strong stuff. So this is classified as strong stuff, so you should definitely run it. I am an Imperial. I have 20 points in the health, 44 in the stamina, so I try to get around the 30k health mark. You see we have 4,000 weapon damage. It doesn't seem like a lot of weapon damage because it's really not. It's all put into enchants for our bash. And so, yeah, like I said, Jewels of Misrule, Serpent Mundus, and those are all of our major buffs. You should be stage 3 vampire. I'm stage 2 because, you know, it dropped, but yeah, that's how it should be. Our front bar set, our front bar skill layout. I think Resolving Vigor can be supplemented for a few different skills. I am running it. I have 3 different heals on my bar. So I have Vigor, I have Intensive Mender, and then I also have Resistant Flesh. And I think Vigor can be replaced with a damage skill because I feel like Mender and Resistant Flesh gives you enough. You can supplement that however you want, whether you want to run like Caltrops for the pen, you want to snare people in place before you go into clown form, or if you want to run like Race Against Time. I think Race Against Time for the extra crit burst would be nice. Mage stacking major and minor force, so when you crit a little bit harder. You also have a lot more mobility. That's the one thing my setup I felt like was lacking when I was PvPing with it. You could definitely substitute out Vigor, in my opinion, with Race. Play around with it how you want, but yeah, I mean, this layout worked out pretty well for me. Resistant Flesh, this is just the self heal. It is kind of expensive, but the heal is really good, guys. Like this is a powerful heal, and so got a 12k tooltip on it. It's very nice. It's not fully leveled yet, but yeah. We are running Reverberating Bash. And the reason I wanted this is I wanted the stun so that I could get off a few more bashes. I feel like being able to drain somebody's stamina is really nice. And also, they changed how Power Slam works. It doesn't escalate damage. If I remember correctly, it reduces the cost of your slam. And this actually is quite nice. So it does 9,000 physical damage, and it stuns them for 2.3 seconds. After the stun ends, they take an additional 9,000 damage. So if they CC break or if it ends, they get this 9,000. So it's not 18,000 all at once. It's kind of split up, but it's still a lot of damage. And then this coincides, obviously, with Deadlands Demolisher and all those other sorts of things. We are running Blighted Blast Bones, and we are running Intensive Mender, like I said. This is an 86-42 heal every 2 seconds with this specific setup. It is a very, very powerful heal. The best ult, in my opinion, is Pummeling Goliath. You transform into this. We'll get out of the city here, but you transform into this. Your bash ult does 11,000. Like your thrusts, like I said in the video, does about 11,000 tooltip damage. And so each individual thrust, they're very, very quick, like to the point. They're thrusts with purpose, and they do a lot of damage. And so you're able to just stack a lot of ulti-gen with this build with like major heroism, because when you're in combat, you're nonstop generating major heroism. I'm trying to find some ads here real quick, so just kind of show you guys like what it is, or what it does. But yeah, so Oakensoul gives you a lot of major buffs. You see, once we get in combat, you're gonna see my ulti-gen just start shooting up. So I have major heroism right now because I'm in combat, and if I light attack a little bit, I'll do whatever. But yeah, our bashes, if we just do our normal bash, which is, you know, left and right trigger, or however you want to say it, it does a decent amount of damage. We actually do a decent amount of damage every 2 seconds. We proc Deadlands Demolisher. On top of that, we also have the Reverb Stun, which does damage, and then it also procs Deadlands Demolisher, and yeah, it's just a lot of burst. And then you can, like I said, you have your heals up and everything. I'm trying to show you guys clown form, but yeah, you can't generate ultimate when you're in clown form. That's the only problem with it. But you get so much finishing power when you're using this. Like, this is the original OG necromancer ult that everybody used to run back when everybody thought all necromancer was a clown form class. But yeah, obviously I think this is really good. If you don't want to run this, you can run Spell Wall. I think Spell Wall would be a great way to survive, and you could still get bashes. You're gonna have a hard time with healing classes if you run Spell Wall, I think. You could also run Dawnbreaker. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with Dawnbreaker smiting. I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of burst also. Like, because you have major heroism, I'll show you. But because you have major heroism, you can coincide this to land a lot of burst. And so we're just going to build up our ulti-gen here. And you see the cost of the bash isn't like super expensive. And that's because, you know, we're running sword and board and we get the reduced cost there. So we're closing in on our Dawnbreaker here. So what we would do if we were fighting somebody with this, we go in, hit it with this, and then we'd summon our Dawnbreaker. And you see when that CC break broke, the reverb hit him. But yeah, you do that combination, you get the stun, you're guaranteed to land the Blast Bones basically, and the Dawnbreaker. It is very, very effective. So go in, reverb, stun, and then you can go in and start bashing. And so yeah, it's, everybody knows that there's bash builds that exist. I feel like it works out really well with Oakensoul, because Oakensoul gives you so much damage also, and it's a way to maneuver around the lack of bar space in some ways. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel to provide in the section below. I'm gonna try and end this here as quickly as possible. But yeah, like I said, it is a strong mythic, and yeah, there's a lot of different classes that can utilize it really well. I feel like Necromancer can. Necromancer with Render Flesh and Intensive Mender is a nice amount of healing for 2 skills on your bar, and it allows you to really supplement other things offensively. And so yeah, that's what I was running. If you guys, like I said, I'm going to end it there. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.